So you've accumulated your Capital One miles and you're ready to take those miles and fly domestically in the United States. You know it's best to transfer your miles to transfer partners, but Alaska, American, Delta, and United are not transfer partners for Capital One. Well, don't worry, because in this video I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to fly those airlines without them being actual transfer partners of Capital One. Now you may want to take notes, or you may need to rewatch some parts because we're going to cover a lot of options for you. And be sure to stay to the end because I'm going to throw in a couple of bonus travels to Mexico and the Caribbean from the United States. So let's get started. Most airlines are part of alliances, and there are three major ones. OneWorld, which includes American and Alaska Airlines, SkyTeam, which includes Delta, and lastly, Star Alliance, which includes United. So what we're going to be able to do is to transfer our Capital One miles to a transfer partner of that alliance to get on the US based airline that we want to fly on. Now, in order to be successful, there are three things we're going to have to keep in mind. The first thing we're going to do is do a little bit of preliminary preparation and set a baseline. And the way we're going to set this baseline is we're going to first look at Google Flights to be able to determine what flights are available for when we want to travel, and what's the normal cash price to be able to fly. Now, the next step that we need to do is we need to look at the Capital One travel portal and look up those same flights to see what their cash cost is, as well as what it will cost us in points. The Capital One travel portal does represent an easy way to be able to book flights with points. The downside is that we're not going to be able to maximize our points as much as if we would transfer to a partner, but this does remain an option. So the second item that we need to keep in mind is we need to understand how we work with transfer partners. First, we're not going to normally have the same access to flights on the same days and the same times as if we were looking at the airline we were going to fly. So for instance, if we were looking at Delta's website, we're going to see a very wide range of dates and times that we're going to be able to fly. But when we look at the transfer partner, we will likely not see the same range. And so that means that we've got to take that into consideration. The reason that the same flights won't be available all the time with transfer partners is because those airlines don't release their full availability to their transfer partners at the time that they're available. And so that encourages people to book their flights directly with the airline that they are looking to fly on in many cases. And at the same time, we may not be able to see the same access to classes that are above economy, premium economy, business, and first class. We're going to see limited availability for that in a lot of cases when we are working with our transfer partners. And the third item that we have to keep in mind is flexibility. And when I'm saying flexibility, I'm talking about both in flexibility necessarily for the class of flight that you take, as well as, and more importantly, the flexibility of the dates that you're going to fly. Now, I know that flexibility is not an easy topic. I'm a person that works full-time, 9-to-5 job, and so flexibility is not something that I've got so much of, but with proper planning, you still can be successful. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to start by looking at short-haul flights, which are normally going to be 650 miles or less. And then we're going to look at medium-haul flights, which might reach up to about 1,150 miles. And then third, we're going to look at transcontinental, East Coast to West Coast. And lastly, we're going to look at flying to Hawaii. So as we get started with short haul, let's look at American and Alaska airline transfer partners. We would look at British Airways and Qatar Airlines. So for American or Alaska Airlines, we could look at transferring our Capital One miles to British Airways Avios to be able to book American or Alaska Airlines. And for a short haul flight, we could be able to fly one way for as little as 8,250 Avios, and if you were looking at business, 16,500. Now, to get an idea of what that range could look like, how about if you were flying from Dallas-Fort Worth to Austin or to Memphis, Nashville, Denver, New Orleans. Now, as an example of what that short haul range could look like, you could actually fly from Dallas-Fort Worth to Austin, Texas, to Memphis, Tennessee, to Nashville, to St. Louis, or even to New Orleans. Now, another option for American or Alaska Airlines would be Qatar Airlines. Now, you may look at your transfer list and see that Qatar is not listed. I understand, but there's an easy way to get there. You can transfer your Capital One miles to British Airways and then transfer your British Airway Avios to Qatar for their Avios. They both use the same currency, and it's a very simple transfer. Now, an economy flight booking through Qatar for those same flights we talked about through British Airways can be reduced from 8,250 avios in economy down to 6,000 avios. Now, when it comes to American and Alaska Airlines, to be able to get those point values that I mentioned, you have to do non-stop flights. And the best way to be able to maximize your non-stop travel is to go through each of the hubs for American or Alaska Airlines. An example of hubs for American would be Charlotte, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and Philadelphia. Now, when it comes to Delta, there are a couple of options to be able to transfer points to be able to fly Delta. One of them is Air France KLM, and the second is Virgin Atlantic. Now, the second option would be Virgin Red. Now, Virgin actually has Virgin Red as well as Virgin Atlantic Flying Club. Both programs work seamlessly, so if you already have a Virgin Atlantic Flying Club account, you can transfer your Virgin Red points back and forth with no problem. An example of a short-haul flight through them would be 7,500 points flying from an example of Detroit to Nashville. Now, when we're looking at Air France KLM, you're basically looking at a short haul of somewhere from 10,500 points for economy and 28,000 points if you were flying business. Now, when it comes to United, we have two excellent options. The first one is Air Canada Aeroplan, and the second one is Avianca Life Miles. So with Air Canada, if we're flying 500 miles or less, we could be able to fly economy for only 6,000 miles. And for business, 15,000 miles. An example of a flight that would fit in this range would be flying from Newark to Boston. The second option is going to be Avianca Life Miles, which will be very different than the other airlines we've talked about, because all of those have been distance-based. Now, what Avianca Life Miles has done is they have broken up the continental United States into 3 different regions. And as long as you fly within that single region, you can really get a great deal at only 7,500 Avianca Life Miles one way. When we look at the Avianca Life Mile regions, we can easily see that Region 1 represents the East Coast to essentially the Midwest. Region 2 represents the Midwest almost out to the far west. And lastly, Region 3 represents the far west. Now, when it comes to Hawaii, it's its own region, and Alaska is tied in with Canada as one region. So you can see if you can stay within a single region, you can get outstanding value by being able to fly within that region. So now let's move from short haul flights to medium haul flights. So when we're looking at medium haul, let's take a look at our Delta option, and we're really going to stick with Virgin Red. And that would be from a range of 501 miles up to 1,000 miles. And when we stay in that range, we could be able to fly for 8,500 miles. A couple of examples of Delta flights that would fit this range would be flying from New York City JFK to Detroit or even to Atlanta. And when it comes to American or Alaska Airlines, we're once again going to be looking at British Airways as well as Qatar. Booking through British Airways, we're going to be looking at either 11,000 avios for economy or 20,500 avios for business. Now, 3 options, the flights that would fit this range would be Miami to Dallas Fort Worth, JFK New York City to Chicago, as well as Palm Springs, California to Austin, Texas. Now, when it comes to Qatar, we're also going to continue to save a few miles when compared to British Airways. One example would be flying business class for only 16,500 avios to go from JFK to Miami. When it comes to United, we're once again going to look at Air Canada as well as Avianca. For Air Canada, from 501 miles all the way to 1,500 miles, we can fly economy for 10,000 points and business for 20,000 points. And as for Avianca, once again, we're dealing with regions. So we were looking at 7,500 miles to stay within one region in economy. But let's say we go into the second region adjacent to us. We would go from 7,500 points to still just 15,000. Now, before we move to our transcontinental options, if you're finding any of this information beneficial, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it would mean everything to this channel, and I want to thank you in advance. Now, when it comes to transcontinental, we're talking about going from the East Coast to the West Coast. And in these cases, I want us to focus a little more on just the business class flights because of it being that long. Now, the first option I want to talk about is flying JetBlue. It's not one we've talked about so far, mainly because there's not really been very good redemptions for it. There may be a good option in this case when we're going through Qatar, which we've used for American Airlines, but this time through JetBlue, you can fly one way for 74,000 avios. Now that would work out when the cash price is a bit higher than normal. It may be a good option for you, but you would be able to fly JetBlue Mint, which is one of the better business class flights that you can take in the United States. Now when it comes to United, we have 3 different options that I would like to touch on. One is Air Canada, the second is Avianca, the third one is actually Turkish Miles and Smiles. All 3 of these options are going to be looking at flying out of Newark to either LAX Los Angeles or San Francisco. And when it comes to Air Canada or Avianca, you can fly Polaris business class for United at 25,000 miles each way. Now when it comes to Turkish is even more interesting than Avianca. Where Avianca broke the United States into 3 regions, Turkish actually has the entire United States as only one region, which allows us to be able to fly this same flight that we were spending 25,000 miles on for only 15,000 miles in business. Now, while that's an excellent redemption through Turkish, there are unfortunately a couple things you have to keep in mind. One is their website is not ideal for being able to easily book flights. The second issue is the customer service can be an issue in regards to being able to book if you don't find it on the website or if you need other assistance. And for those issues, you have to factor that in. Now, when it comes to flying American Airlines Transcontinental, we're once again going to look at British Airways as well as Qatar Airlines. Now, in this case, there actually is a flight that goes from JFK to LAX as well as San Francisco, and it is actually a 3-class airline. You can fly business class with British Airways Avios at 42,000 Avios, and if you might be able to find first class, you could do that for 64,500 Avios. Now keep in mind that first class redemption is difficult to find, but at least you have that 42,000 Avios fallback position for business, which can be had. Alright, so now we've done transcontinental. How about we get to Hawaii? Now when we're talking about Hawaii, we're going to get the best prices if we're flying from the West Coast to Hawaii, which still represents nearly 3,000 miles. Now when it comes to flying American or Alaska Airlines to Hawaii, we do have both options again of British Airways and Qatar. Now in this case, we're going to see more availability for Alaska than we've seen before because Alaska Airlines hubs are mainly on the West Coast. So when we're flying from the West Coast to Hawaii on American or Alaska, if we're using British Airways Avios, we're looking at about 16,000 Avios in economy, while on Qatar, we're looking at 13,000 Avios. Now when it comes to Delta, we can look at flying from Los Angeles to Honolulu under both Virgin as well as Air France KLM. Under Virgin, we're looking at 15,000 points to fly there, and when it comes to Air France KLM, we're looking at 18,000. Now another option under Virgin in this particular case is actually flying Hawaiian Airlines. Now when it comes to flying Hawaiian through Virgin from the West Coast, you could do it for 20,000 points in economy and 40,000 points if you want to fly first class. You can even fly Hawaiian from the East Coast, and that would be from 40,000 points in economy up to 80,000 points first class one way. Now when it comes to United, let's look at Air Canada as well as Turkish again. Now for Air Canada, you can fly from San Francisco to Honolulu in economy for only 12,500 points. Now when it comes to Turkish, you could fly from anywhere in the United States to Hawaii for only 7,500 points in economy or 12,500 points in business. Now once again, those are outstanding redemptions, but that business one is nearly impossible to find. The economy one can be had in some cases, but I want to make sure you're aware of them because they are available if you're looking and you catch a break. Now I actually even have a flight option for you when you're in Hawaii. You could actually go through Virgin to get on Hawaiian Airlines to be able to island hop. 7,500 points one way in economy to be able to go from island to island, which can be an outstanding experience. Now I haven't forgotten about those 2 bonuses I said I would do of flying from the United States to Mexico as well as the United States to the Caribbean. Now one option would be flying American Airlines from Miami to Nassau, Bahamas, Montego Bay, Jamaica, or even Grand Cayman Islands. You could do that for only 8,250 avios one way. Another Caribbean option would still be going from Miami to the Caribbean, but in this case, we're going to be doing it under Qatar for only 9,000 points. Now that economy flight can take you to Cancun, Turks and Caicos, as well as San Juan, Puerto Rico, and even the Dominican Republic. Now, as far as an option to go to Mexico, we can take American Airlines, booking through British Airways, and fly from Dallas-Fort Worth to Mexico City for only 11,000 miles in economy. And for only 14,500 miles, you could still get to Mexico City, but from Phoenix or as well as Los Angeles. Transferring points to transfer partners can get you excellent value to be able to fly on the flights you want. But it does take some time and some planning. But if you can do that, you can truly set yourself up for great air travel. And if you want to know more about Capital One cards that can help you accumulate those miles, be sure to click on this and it will help you immensely.